So good afternoon from the Hong Kong Young Writers Awards. Can you take a moment to introduce yourself?
I'm Alvin, and I was the Hong Kong Young Writer of the Year last year and the winner of Group 4 Fiction.
That's great. So what does it mean to you to have won the Hong Kong Young Writers Awards 2014 Young Writer of the Year and the Fiction Group 4 category?
To me, winning the award was a dream come true. It's an amazing feeling to see my story being published along with other outstanding entries in the anthology. And it's definitely a milestone for me when I look back after I've grown up, because this is a very prestigious award.
So did you find that participating in the competition has improved your English skills? And what else did you learn?
Well, it's impossible to say no, because the entire writing process is an immersive English experience, like from the research stages to actually writing the story until applying the final touches to your story. You need to use English all the time. And so it's also taught me that good stories are precipitated, if you know what I mean, but not spontaneously created.
That's great. So has winning motivated you to enter this year?
Yeah, of course.
That's good news. So how are you preparing for the competition this year, and which of the tactics you learned last year will you be using while writing your submission for this year's competition?
I'm still reading books, but I've been watching more movies lately, because don't underestimate movies. Some movies come with very fascinating implications and some interesting plots as well. In fact, watching the movie The Adventures of Walter Mitty have inspired me to write about soul searching, adding that kind of introspective touch to my story's meaning. But more importantly, I've developed a tendency to pay more attention to my surroundings. So when the time comes for these details to be put into use in my writing, I can almost immediately conjure a mental image in my mind, and I'll just describe it in very painstaking detail. Examples would be the face-to-face interactions. Like when two people talk, what are their voice levels? What are the emotions? What body language do they use? Like all these are very instrumental in describing a character. As for tactics, my only real tactic is to start early. As I've said, it takes a lot of time and effort to think of a genuine and interesting plot.
That's great. That's a lot of information. Thanks, Alvin. So Alvin, do you have any creative tips for students looking to enter in this year's competition?
Well, I have two pieces of advice for aspiring young writers out there. The first piece of advice regards research. You need to have prerequisite knowledge of the topic beforehand, and to do so, you can read on the subject. A stroll in the bookstores should do the trick. You need to scan through the books and jot down some relevant information, and that should be enough to give you a basic background of the topic. And yeah, it's very important in writing a story. If you're using the internet, it would be a good practice to go to the second or even third page of results and keep searching, because inspiration often awaits in the most uncanniest of places. And that did the trick for me last year. The second piece of advice concerns how you write the story. A great tip would be how to utilize dialogue to set the tone of the story. Different people have different ways of expressing the same thoughts, with different tones and certainly with different voices. If you can describe the dialogue in a manner that the reader can hear the character almost speaking out loud in their heads, you have created an earthly character, and the readers can visualize your characters in their mind's eye. But as with everything, don't overdo your descriptions, or else the paragraph may turn sour, if you know what I mean.
All right, well that's it for today. Thank you very much for interviewing us today, Alvin.